It may not work. Who knows? Okay, guys. I think we may have it fixed. But let me kind of start over a minute for those that may have been on the live but got kicked off. I don't know.
Everything's working.
Okay, well, just keep checking it for me, okay, babe? Tonight, I was going to show you some different surfaces that I've chalked on. This is one that I actually did earlier today. I used ink for this. The difference in ink and chalk. Ink must be heat set before it's permanent. The chalk paste has to be sealed to make it permanent. Or you can leave the chalk paste unsealed and erase it and redo it for the seasons. I've seen people do that. But I wanted to show some different surfaces that you could chalk or ink on. And I did the metal. I did the little bee on the top and then Sweeter Than Honey on the side. Now this particular surface, since I used the ink, I will actually bake that in the oven. And what you do is you start with a cold oven and you bring it up to 350 and you bake your item to heat set it for 30 minutes. And what that does is that just makes it permanent. Now, would I still run it through the dishwasher? No. But that's just me. I know that some people have and have had good success with it. I just would not personally run it through the dishwasher. Another thing that I did today is I did this little tennis shoe. So you can use chalk couture on metal, canvas, because these are little canvas tennis shoes. And I actually used two different transfers for this. This transfer was the one that came for the June Club Couture kit, which it's a monthly subscription that you can sign up for. Like if you don't want to, say you don't want to become a designer, but you want to do something every month. Now the only downfall to this is that the transfers are a surprise. So you can't see them in advance. I don't know them. Nobody knows them. But I have to say I've liked every one of them except for maybe one. So it's a 3-month. What are you doing over there? My daughter's over here making faces again. But it's a 3-month subscription that you have to sign up for, and then anytime after that you can cancel. And it's right at $20 a month. This was the transfer for this month. It was pinwheels. Did the stars come with that? No. No stars with that. That was a different transfer. That's why I had to look, because I mix and match transfers. But then it said Celebrate and Freedom. And I made a little buffalo check pinwheel. Then on the back I put the little scooter that's from a different transfer. And guys, this is why I think it's so important to put your names on the back. You're right, Summer. Because I used this from one transfer, this from another transfer set. And so when you do that at the end of the night, when you go to put them back, you get all mixed up if you don't have them labeled on the back. Now, I was going to do another shoe, but since I've showed you metal and canvas, I thought I'd do a piece of glass. This is a cute little vase that I found at the H store, the HL store.
Are you trying to not get copyrighted?
No, I just can't say what store. I forgot. I can't say what store I bought it from, and I almost said that. So,
I think we could tell like, ha.
I know it was my mistake, but it was on clearance. It was a good deal, and
Grandma sent us mine.
Hey, Grandma. mom, rather. So, one thing you want to do when you're inking on glass, which I'm going to use ink for this, either glass or chalk, either one, you want to clean it really well. So I took some just rubbing alcohol that I have from around the house, and I'm just going to kind of go around it here. And that just kind of gets all the fingerprints and all that good stuff off. Okay, we're going to turn that up. And I'm actually going to sit this to the side for just a minute. And I am going to ink it with this transfer. Now, normally speaking, at this point, you would get out your Couture fuzzing cloth. They have been out of stock of the fuzzing cloths since I was a designer, up until I think last week. So I got some ordered. But in the meantime, I just use an old t-shirt. It works fine. Some people use an old towel. What I found from an old towel is if it's one of those real fuzzy ones. Oh, I can't get this off. That's usually my hardest part of the project. I think it's because I'm getting old and can't see. But what I've found with using an old towel, if it's one of the real fuzzy ones, it will actually sometimes leave too much fuzz. Like, it'll leave big chunks of fuzz on the back, and you don't want that. You want this just to take enough sticky off that it doesn't stick so bad to your surface you can't get it off. And actually, with that metal tin I did earlier today, I did not fuzz it enough. And it was a bear to get off. Trust me.
A bear?
Yes, a bear. And guess who's going to do one soon? Sumsy. Summer, my daughter. I'm going to let her do one soon. I keep saying that and then we haven't. But she's one of those kids. She thinks she's got to sleep till noon. And her summer vacation is over. She's got to start getting up at a decent hour.
What if I don't go to bed at a decent hour?
Because I've got to get her busy. She is my soon-to-be internet girl. She's real good at showing me how to do the Instagram post. And
I've been on Instagram for like 4 years, so yes, I know how to post something on Instagram.
And my son actually got me set up on this,
Facebook?
no, what is this thing called?
OBS?
Yes, OBS.
Open broadcast software.
But he gets so bossy sometimes. I had to send him
Sometimes?
Sometimes. Alright, now I've done this about 5 times, and the reason I did that is because on glass or metal, these will stick really well. And after I'm finished, I'm going to sit that up so it don't roll. But after I'm finished with the transfer, applying it, I will actually show you how to make it sticky again. Your what? Oh, your foot fell asleep. You can speak, child. Now then. Oh, I may have got that jour too low. So, see how well that's sticking to that?
Totally.
I mean, you want it to stick, but you don't want it to stick so bad. You can't get it off, right? And that is the cool thing about these transfers, is that since they are sticky on the back, they'll go around surfaces. You just want to make sure, which is what I'm doing now, that you get any air bubbles, and you want to get it as straight as you can so you don't have any creases in it. And let's see. Oh. Okay, I think I got it straight enough there. We're going to roll on around this way. And we're just going to let it roll. I kind of let them fall as they may, and then I go back. And since I'm getting old, I take my glasses off and I work out any bubbles that might cause me trouble. Of course, one thing about these transfers is they're screen printed. You know, there's screen printing in them. So, it's kind of nice, even if there is a little imperfection here and there, it's not usually noticeable. Okay, where's that color I was going to use? This color right here. Yes, I know, Mom. I love this color. I do. And one thing, oh, that's okay. One thing about the inks, they are a little more fluid. They don't dry near as quick as the paste, the chalk paste. So you do have more time to work with them. Now, to be quite honest, I've never inked on glass. So,
I don't think you've inked before today.
Yes, I have.
Oh, you have?
Yes. Not as much. I did one other time, I think. I usually do the chalk. But I decided to branch out because I know Danielle's wanting to do her projects that she won, and I've got some other things I've been wanting to ink. I've been wanting to ink that shirt with you, Summer. Well, the one that says better late than ugly. The one you wanted to do.
I'm late because I sleep in. I'm late because I stay in bed.
Child, you are late, period.
I can get dressed in 5 minutes, but I stay in bed for an extra 30. That's my problem. I can't get out of bed.
Now, I am doing this a solid blue. It's not going to be super bright since it is on glass. It's a little bit bigger than I thought it was going to be. But we're going to roll with it. Like I said, with the inks, you have a little bit more time. Now, if I was doing with this with the paste, I would have needed to get this on here quicker. Or put a paper towel over it to keep it wet. Because the paste dry a lot quicker. And nothing like doing this live because I really don't know how this is going to turn out. I may totally screw it up, but you know what? That's how we roll around here. And excuse me, I told y'all I had a cold, and I do. Now I'm just going back and squeegeeing off some of the excess, because what you want to do, see the excess you don't use, you put back in your container and you save it for later. And that makes it kind of nice because you don't waste. Actually, I did not want to sit that there. I'm going to go ahead and put the lid on my ink. And now, this is going to get tricky because it is around it. And you have to be careful pulling this off. And it sticks pretty good when it's stuck to glass.
My laptop has low battery.
Well, you better get plugged in. And I don't want to stretch the transfer. But I do When pulling your transfers off, you do not ever want to pull from the corners. You can pull from the sides, like I'm doing, or the top. And it's fine to start in the corner, just to get it started. But if you pull from the corner, and I learned this the hard way, you will stretch a transfer and ruin it. Okay. Now I got to get this cleaned up real quick, guys. So give me just a minute to get this clean so it can be reused. They are reusable. And then I'll show you what we've got. Now I'm spritzing water on this side of this just to get it off pretty quick. And then I'm going to use a paper towel on this side. On the other side, almost the only thing I use are Clorox wipes. No, it does not have to be that brand. It can be Walmart, Dollar General, Fred's, any of those brands. Baby wipes do not work. If you use a baby wipe, I've been told that removes the sticky. And a Clorox wipe actually makes it sticky again. So if you lose a little bit of sticky, then the Clorox wipe will make it re-stick. My daughter just came under my desk and grabbed my leg. That scared me half to death. So nothing like True TV. True TV. I did invite you in here. I might be changing my mind about that.
Go ahead, let's probably do the live stream.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Okay, now when you're cleaning a transfer, you want to be sure. This is going to be tricky because I stuck it to my desk. Okay, you want to be sure that.
Don't stick it to your desk.
Well, no. I don't know if you can see or not, but since I have ink, I have a little bit more time. But see, in there, there's some white, and the blue ink has gotten on the white. That white is the silk screen part. There's actually a little screen in there. It's hard to see on camera. But you want to make sure when you're cleaning your transfers that you get any ink or paste out of that silk screen part. If your blue outside is discolored a little, that's okay. Your important part is inside, well, for you guys, probably the clear, as you can see it from camera. The clear part, or the part that looks white. Any of that, you want to make sure there's no residual ink or paste. Because if your ink or paste dries in there, then when you go to use your transfer again, it's going to have that ink or paste in that spot, and it just, oh, don't stick together. I don't like it when they do that. It will actually mess up your next project. Okay, let's see what we got. Do you have enough light, Summer, that you can see this? It looks kind of dark to me.
Yeah, no, you can see it.
You can? Do I need to put a tissue in there, or can you see it clearly?
See what?
The glass. What I just did on the glass.
The camera just caught up, so.
Okay, so can you see this pretty clear?
Yes, I can see the bird.
Okay. See? You've got the bird, and the little postage stamp, and the tree, and the bonjour. Now, like I said, what I'm going to do with this is I'll put it in a cool oven. I'll let it heat to 350, and I'll bake it for 30 minutes. And that will make that permanent. Ooh. Yes.
Work on trying to keep it out of the way the face can. Because if your face can block it, the viewers can't see it.
Oh, I'll have to fix that for the next time. Yeah,
There's
because.
no way to fix it. If you want to fix it, it's going to be in the way of something.
Okay.
It's a big problem.
Well, then we may have to go without a face cam, because they need to see the stuff. Now, the difference in Like this shoe, yes, I used ink on this, but you can't put this in the oven. So I'll take an iron and I'll heat set it. I've already taken my heat gun and kind of dried it so I could do the different layers. Otherwise, it takes like 24 hours for the ink to dry. And I will actually let anything I ink, I will let sit at least overnight. And then I'll put it, like, I won't put that glass vase in the oven till tomorrow night. Well, it'll probably be the next morning because that's how I roll. I think this is cork. I've never inked on cork or chalked on cork. But I want to take, if this is dry, like I said, we're doing different surfaces, so I'm going to try it and see how it goes. I need to get my fuzzing cloth again. And by fuzzing cloth, I mean my old t-shirt. I get my fuzzing cloth in. Yeah, I thought I'd ordered them, I guess it'd been 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I didn't put them on that order. But I've heard they're real handy. There are several things that they have that I really do like. I'll tell you if I do like something or if I don't like something. This little tool called the multi-tool, that is just the best thing. Because when you order squeegees, the smallest squeegee, well, where did I sit it? I just had it. The smallest squeegee.
Is it in the shirt?
Nope. On my shirt. Why would that be on my shirt?
Under the shirt.
Oh, no. But the smallest squeegee is about double this size. A little bit less. This was actually a sample that somebody sent me, and they had cut one in half. And it's hard to get in smaller spaces sometimes. This little multi-tool, on the end, it has a squeegee. And on this end, it has the most awesome thing for getting down in these jars. See how these jars are curved? This little tool will get down in there and get that cleaned. And you can get it stirred up so much easier when you use this. They haven't had these that long, that's why I'm excited. I know I'm weird. I get excited about weird things. Do what, Summer?
Nothing.
What did you say, child?
That doesn't begin to describe you.
That doesn't begin to describe me. Okay. Huh. Well, let's see.
I love you.
Let's see what we can get on here. I want to see how this is going to do. I'm going to do this top just a little bit different. I'd like to get enough, just a little bit of bird on there. Ooh, I hope this works. Okay, you know what color I think I'm going to use for that? I'm thinking, should I use, I think I'm going to use, if this one's been opened, I may not have opened this gold yet. Yep, I'm still going to use that. I'm going to use a gold. Summer, would you quit irritating that dog?
We're playing. She's rolled over on her back.
This is a gold shimmer, and we're going to see how this is going to look on here.
Did you use it on the shoe though?
That was ink. This is paste. Now, with the paste, you do need to work a wee bit quicker because it dries quicker. So, and one thing I've noticed about the glitter, the shimmer paste, and the shimmer ink, y'all know how anything glitter gets. It gets everywhere.
Grandma said, could you move your surface to the right?
Oh, yes. Is that better? I hope. You know that this is the lid to that glass jar. So I'm using a piece of the transfer. I'm not using the whole thing. And now I'm squeegeeing it up. No, I'm not doing it on the table. And let's hope this works. Excuse me again. I knew this was going to be... Okay, the gold's not really going to show up. So, that's kind of what happens when you do a live and it doesn't quite work. But, excuse me. Again, I'm sorry for this cold. We are going to get this dry. Pardon me. And we're going to go at it again because one thing about this is until you seal it, now granted, since I used the glitter kind, it may leave a sparkle on the top, but that never hurt anything. But I don't know if you can tell, but the design is totally gone. And I'm going to grab my last cough drop, so that means we don't have much longer. Like I said, this cold has really gotten me good.
No, Joe. No. You're a pain.
I have a daughter, a lab, and a Westie in here.
Joe just licked my eyeball.
This room is
She licked underneath my
not
glasses.
huge, but it works.
It ain't big enough for $2.
Okay. Let me see if I've got this dry. Now, as you can see...
I wonder if you could use a different blue tone.
Oh, she's talking, my Westie's talking. She doesn't do that very often. They say Westie's really talk, but she doesn't do that very often. Okay.
She usually does when she really wants attention.
Let me get this dry. And while that's drying for a second, I'm going to look for the color I want to use. Now, sometimes your chalks will get a little dry. You want them to be the consistency of sour cream. Sparkles Wilson. But you want them to be the consistency of sour cream, and this one is still not there. All you have to do, yes, it may take a little bit of elbow grease. You just put a little water on it. This is just distilled water. That you just put just a little bit on there until you start stirring and you see that you're getting more sour cream consistency like I'm getting here. Now, one thing I will tell you about these pastes, when I first saw the jars, I'd always redone furniture, and when I first saw the jars, I was like, whew, those are expensive. But you put excuse me, you put so much back into the jar when you squeegee it up that you just don't use a lot. And as a matter of fact, I have just now, I've been doing this since January, February, and I just now had to order some. And that's between, I've let my mom use it.
That's mine.
I've used it. Let's see if this is on there. I don't want it to go off that corner like that. This is not quite dry. That's the one thing you have to do for sure, excuse me, is wait on this to dry. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's good enough. Alright. Now, my Westie, she sounds like she's ornery and mad, but she's not. She's playing when she does that. Unfortunately, my lab doesn't know that, and it upsets my lab when she hears my Westie kind of growling at us.
Ow. She just hit my hand into this thing.
Now I'm applying a darker color because I want it to be more, pardon me, noticeable on the cork. And plus this will go with the blue.
You just use black or like navy blue.
You know, I could have used black, but I wanted to use different, you know?
You could have used navy blue.
Well, navy blue and teal, I don't know.
Oh, I didn't really notice the color. I just thought it was bluish.
It is bluish, but it's kind of a tealy blue.
On the camera, it looks a lot more blue.
Oh, it does? Alright, now I'm going to actually use a squeegee to squeegee this up so I can show you, you know, that's how little I've used. I put that back in the jar. That's why the edges of my jar always look so messy, but excuse me. This cold, y'all, has about got the best of me. I have taken a nap since I've had it every afternoon. Every afternoon. Today's the first day I didn't sound like I was in a tunnel, I think. Okay. Now, do I have any people from Canada here tonight?
I would not think so.
I think I might. I'm just curious if I have anybody from Canada. Okay, you can see that a little better. Summer's probably right. I should have used the black. But I can go back and fix that later. If I have some people... Well, there's a delay, and I've had some people asking me about Couture that are from Canada.
Like a Canadian transfer.
There's no Canadian
money like
no, it's all done in their dollars. It's all done in their money. No, they're asking me, excuse me, just different questions, and...
You weren't understanding what I was saying, that's okay.
Okay. Anyway, I wanted to show you guys if there is, because Couture just launched in Canada in May. I'm going to put this up here to dry. And I've had a lot of people, I've seen a lot of people post that there's nothing that you can do because the transfer that came out this month for the monthly subscription was pinwheels. And you could do those just red and white. You don't have to do them red, white, and blue. But I found a font today. Excuse me. And I had this dish towel. And this is what I did with it. I had the leaf from before. I've stitched a muslin strip across this because this is a rough surface, so it would be hard to chalk or ink on. And then I've inked a leaf on either side, and I took our font. It is called the, can't remember, handwritten font, and I inked Canada just because, you know, I just wanted to. Because I like the color of this towel and the stripes. And I'm going to do a USA one also. So, you can do... I've shown you that you can do metal. That you can do... Whoops. The tennis shoes. Canvas.
Probably not mesh. You can just sink right through.
You can do glass. Because we did this just a few minutes ago. And you can do wood, you can do chalkboard. If you guys ever have any questions, just message me. I'm just a message away. I'm pretty much an open book. You can ask my daughter. I'll tell you anything. She's rolling her eyes at me.
I didn't roll them.
Yes, you did.
I did not.
Y'all. But I'll tell you anything. If you have a question about how I do something or how I did it, I'll be glad to answer it. If you want to know the difference between the inks and the paste, maybe you missed that, just message me. I'll be glad to answer anything.
One's more of a liquid.
The ink is a little bit more liquid. It's set different than the paste. You have to heat set it. Whereas the paste, you can actually not set, and you wash it off and redo it. Like if you had a chalkboard in your kitchen and you wanted to change it for the seasons, that's really good for that. It is chalk.
Yeah, just chalk.
But you can make it permanent by spraying it with sealer. I prefer...
Not the sticky note.
Well, I put that sticky note on there to remind me to tell people what I use. It says, what I use to seal, and that reminds me that I need to say that.
That's what those
I use the Minwax water-based polyacrylic, clear satin or gloss. It depends on the finish you want. That one's a little bit more expensive. I like it because it has never yellowed anything I've done, and I used to redo furniture quite a bit, and it didn't yellow it. Now, one night next week, I'm going to redo a chair. I don't normally do too much furniture, but this chair's really lightweight, and because I hurt my back, and that's kind of why I quit doing the furniture. But this chair's really lightweight, and I'm really excited to do a small piece of furniture. I can't totally quit, but if it gets heavy, my daughter will help me with it. I know she will.
You got 2 dudes in this house.
But as you've seen tonight, of course, you know we can do it on chalkboard. You can do it on fabric, t-shirts, things like that. I wanted to do it on the tennis shoes just for something different. And I've seen a few other people do it on tennis shoes, and I just want to see if I can do it.
Can we do it? I want to do that.
Yeah, you can do a pair of tennis shoes.
Yeah. So actually fit me.
Well, how about those for me?
It's okay. I can decide.
But I did the glass, and I did the metal. Oh, and I forgot. I've also, and I've shown this before, but I've done it. I found this at a flea market. I inked on the side, huh?
She just keeps laying
Oh.
over her chest.
I inked on the side, and then I inked on the top. And it just made it cute. So you can really upcycle old stuff too. I do like a lot of the Couture boards and stuff, like their magnetic board. They have one that's magnetic.